Okay, it's time for buy, hold, sell here on Chasing Green Arrows. We're trying to make those last-minute picks, and Gianni's going to help us do exactly that. Are you ready for this, mate?
Yeah, buy, hold, sell's in it. First time we've done it on this channel, and we could have gone with buy, avoid, sell, but then effectively you're saying don't have two players, have one. Well, one is good of the three. This way, we're going to rank the three, but it's like two are fine, one is a sell. So buy, hold, sell, I think is my preferred. And yeah, we'll do 4 different positions and price points so we can compare well.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Let's get straight into it. No time to waste. 3 premium, I guess, defenders here: Frimpong, Cucurella, and 8 Nori. Go on, you go first, mate, and I'll judge you and then make my own list.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Frimpong is we don't know about his fitness. We know he came off because he felt something in his hamstring. You got to be careful with hamstrings, especially when you're a sprinter, and he is a sprinter. I do think early indications suggest Liverpool are going to concede way more this season. Well, way more. I expect them to concede more than they did last year. I expect them to score more than they did. Frimpong's going to be great for attacking returns, but he's definitely my third rank on this out of these 3. I think 8 Nori and Cucurella were the 2 6 million defenders I nearly bought on deadline day. I had 0.5 in the bank. I've got 3 5.5s, and it was these 2 guys giving me a headache. I would say absolutely buy 8 Nori. I think he's like best in class for the 6 millions. I would say hold Cucurella, absolutely. And look, if gun to my head, I'd say sell Frimpong. In the real world, are we selling Frimpong? Maybe not. If we hear he's injured though, or we hear he's doubtful, it's a very easy switch to one of the other 2. I think Chelsea and City will keep a load of clean sheets, more than Liverpool this season. And Cucurella's average position is amazing. And 8 Nori got picked up DEFCON. He won't do that every week. He'll even be more attacking. But if he's not attacking, he's defending. And if he's defending, he'll get bonus and DEFCON. So it's win-win with him.
Yeah. I think I would buy Cucurella, you know. I think I would actually do that, especially knowing that they've got West Ham up next. I think that's a good fixture for Chelsea, and that Cucurella is one of their prime assets at the moment. And then I'd probably have hold for 8 Nori and sell Frimpong. 8 Nori, though, is obviously going to be like... it would be up there with top of the class when it comes to the defenders. I actually, in the eye test, think that 8 Nori is a bit defensively vulnerable. And I struggle to convert what I'm seeing in real life to FPL because the actual flaws in his real life game don't tend to matter in FPL too much. So, and I've got to get my head around that. But that's probably why I put Cucurella ahead of him at the moment. But not to say your choice isn't right.
Yeah, no, you're right. The eye test doesn't always correlate. Like those defensive contributions, a lot of them can be won off scraps, and you're scrapping around, and you don't look like the most polished defender, but you're picking up a lot of the loose balls, for example, you're clearancing. So yeah, I mean, at Wolves he was vulnerable defensively as well, I thought, but he definitely offers more in attack. And Pepper said about him occupying a number 10 positions at times. We didn't see it the week just gone because Wolves had him pinned back. He was busy, but more often than not, we're going to see him in very advanced positions.
Absolutely, we are. Right, that's a good run through those assets. I'm sure a lot of you are considering them or have them. So now you know exactly what G thinks you should actually do with them. Should we move on to the premium midfield players? Florian Wirtz, Bruno Fernandes, Cole Palmer, all slightly different price points, aren't they? And I guess all of them flopped last week.
They did. They all flopped, and they're all highly owned. Like Cole Palmer's the highest owned player in the game, or was game week 1. Wirtz is in like 35% of teams, and Bruno's got a lot of love. Must be similar because the United tax. Similar price points. Cole Palmer's obviously the most expensive. There aren't too many around 8.59, the Bruno and Wirtz price point. But look, I was impressed with Man United as a team functioning quite well against Arsenal, although we have to remember they did lose the football match. And guys, thank you for hitting those buttons. Thank you for liking and subscribing today. If you want to do one thing today, subscribe to Chasing Green Arrows with the notification bell. That would be amazing. We would love that. I'm going to say if you had to sell one of these guys, it would be Bruno. I really am. Like, I know Bruno gets the DEFCON. He was 1 short and he's going to get loads of DEFCON. I know he's going to get loads of attacking returns. But the reason I'd sell him, and I wouldn't say like, in your actual team, you're not selling him before Fulham and Burnley. But longer term, there's a better United attacker out there than Bruno. We don't know who it is, but in terms of value, I've got no doubt Cunha and Burmo, Sesko, even Ahmad at 6.5, even Dorgo at 4.5 defender. I think those guys could all be the pick, and we don't know which one is if you want to cover that United attack. Bruno's 9 million playing centre mid, not number 10, and for me, then that's why he would be the third rank of these players rather than the sell. Let's say that. Dean, would you agree? Is he the third rank for you?
On performance level, yes, but I actually would have Wirtz in at the bottom. Ooh. I'd sell him. I've told you I didn't pick him for a reason at the start of the seasons because I didn't know how he fitted it. I don't have any doubts over his quality. I'm not one of those people questioning his performance in that sense in the first game week. What I am questioning is where he's going to get his points from in this setup in the early weeks of the season. So I don't think Wirtz was a very good pick from the get-go. And right now, looking at Newcastle away too, don't love the fixture. I think Wirtz, knowing they've got Arsenal then after that too, is a sell. Like, I don't see him getting FPL points. I'm looking at the other two and I'm thinking, well, at the very least, might get a penalty. And that's just why I would have Wirtz at the bottom of that list. Fernandes would be the next one for me. And I wouldn't go any higher than a hold on Bruno Fernandes. But if I had him at this point, I would hold because they've got Fulham, which isn't the worst fixture in the world. He's got the pen value, and we know he's going to play every week. Like in that Man United rotation, we saw Šeško wasn't in the starting lineup first time out. We saw good minutes for Cunha and Mbeumo, but they've got other players to come into that system. And Bruno is sometimes going to move into those attacking midfield roles. He's not very good further back, and United are trying to wedge him into the team at the moment. So I would be tempted to flip it, mate, and do, Wirtz sell, Bruno hold.
I'm going to go with Wirtz as my number 2 rank, I think, and say hold. They're both hard to say buy a Palmer or a Wirtz, but Palmer, because of the fixtures, I think we can buy. I am slightly put off by the fact Palmer's he scored 1 goal in the Premier League since January. Wirtz has amazing fixtures moving forward, but a tough next 2. I think it's Newcastle, Arsenal, but then it gets really good again. I think it's Burnley, Everton, Palace for Liverpool. So yeah, those 2 are tricky. The takeaway from these premium midfielders is you didn't pick them for 1 game. The fact they blanked shouldn't be we need to get rid of them. You've picked them for a window, right? You've picked them for the first 4 or 5 or 6 game weeks. So actually, in terms of ranking, I'm going to go Palmer 1, Wirtz 2, Bruno 3, but keep them all in your team.
West Ham, Fulham, Brentford, the next 3 games for Cole Palmer. Like, if he's not returning from those 3 games, then ditch him for the rest of the season.
It's a problem.
Honestly, at that point, it's a problem. Like you say, 1 goal since January is shocking, to be honest.
Open play goal. I think he scored a pen.
But whatever, it's it just doesn't reflect well at the price point, particularly that he's at, and the status that he holds within the Premier League. It's very strange. So we're still assuming that this is a glitch in the matrix and that Cole Palmer does get back to actually converting the chances that are presented to him or that he makes for himself and that he scores. And so, West Ham, we've just seen them concede 3 goals against Sunderland. You'd like to think as a Chelsea fan that Cole Palmer's going to return there. And so as an FPL owner, I think that if you're looking for someone to buy, go for Cole Palmer because West Ham are a team to target.
Yeah, I hope so. And he'll be heavily captained this week. Not by me, I must say, but he will be heavily captained. Okay, cool. Let's move on. We'll do some quick fire forwards, shall we? Who we got? We've got another set of 3.
Yeah, let's have a look at what we've got next.
Oh, midfielders. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, 3. Yeah, midfielders. Kudus, Semenyo, and Ruta. Do this one quick, I guess. Go on, give us
different
a quick
price
fire.
point. 6 million Ruta, 6.5 Kudus, and 7 Semenyo, right? But if you're buying one, it could be either of the 2. It could be Kudus or Semenyo. I was super impressed. If I was wildcarding, I'd be picking them both in my team. Kudus is going to become Mbeumo. Play wide right on a 4-3-3 or play up front in a 3-5-2. And Thomas Frank will rotate between those formations, and Kudus is his Mbeumo. We saw it against PSG, played down the middle in the 3-5-2, in the 3-4-3 against Burnley, super good, 2 assists on the right. Semenyo is greedy, an FPL shot monster, started the season so well last time. And Bournemouth are now top of the fixture ticker. That's mad. Because they had Liverpool, everyone was like, Anfield away, it really dilutes their fixture ticker. Take the Liverpool fixture out, they're top of the ticker. Ruta's concerning. 6 million, definitely. I would be selling him to Reinders in a heartbeat if I didn't have Gianni Reinders or even Elliot Anderson if that's your flavour. We thought he was going to be starting number 9, and he did, but he got hooked around 70 minutes. Many thought if he wasn't at number 9, he'd be at number 10. But O'Reilly is playing so well at number 10. He had an amazing preseason. He took the penalty. We didn't know he was going to be on pens. We thought Jorginho might be on pens. Welbeck comes on, and we know the manager loves Welbeck. I expected it to be Welbeck 9, Rutter 10 by game week 2. It might just be Welbeck 9, O'Reilly 10. Rutter can still get into the team wide, but just the early subs. And I think he will start this week in one way, shape, or form against Everton. The early subs would worry me. And I don't see Brighton or him scoring a load of goals.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely valid. I would go sell Ruter, hold Kudus, buy Semenyo. I think he bangs again this weekend. A nice fixture here for Bournemouth as they host Wolves. Yeah. So I do expect him to return. Right, shall we round all this off, mate? We've gone through some nice assets so far here. Let's get on to the final 3. Šeško, João Pedro, and Richarlison. Richarlison, obviously the surprise package of the 3 so far. We didn't think we'd be considering this in game week 2.
Yeah, I know. 6.5 and the other 2 are 7.5. I'm going to say with Richarlison, he is still someone I would... It's controversial, this. I'm going to say I'd sell Richarlison, which is mad because he's just scored 2 goals. I think he'll start versus City. He's earned his spot. But him and Solanke are going to share massive, massive minutes. The problem with the other 2 is we don't know they're 90-minute men either. Like, Sesko's going to become a 90-minute man. But João Pedro, Dean, you sort of called this while you were so more hot on Delap because you knew he'd get the minutes. And we knew João Pedro wouldn't get 90. But the fact he didn't play well, there is a world in which we get a team leak on Friday that says João Pedro bench, Delap starts. I don't think that happens, but there's a part of me that doubts it. I'm keeping João Pedro until he doesn't get a start and Delap starts and does well or bangs off the bench. But I'm going to say sell Richarlison because he is a transfer out waiting to happen. I'm going to say you hold João Pedro for now. And I actually think the most fun buy and a cheap route to the United attack could become Sesko. He's got Fulham and Burnley. I think he starts Fulham. But Cunha did well in the role. And Mason Mount comes out the team if Sesko goes in. And Mount's playing well as well. So it's hard to judge the Sesko start. It's a very risky buy.
Yeah, we've got quite different views on this. I would sell João Pedro. I said from the start, I came off him quite quickly because I wasn't convinced how many minutes he would get. And like you say, I think Delap is getting more starts than people realise. And I also think the time that he's going to come into games is going to be so pivotal and he's going to be so driven. It's going to be either like Chelsea desperately need a goal or they're already well in front and like the other team's given up and he's going to get a tap in. So I think Delap's going to deliver some good points. So I would get João Pedro out and replace him with Liam Delap, to be honest. I would hold Richarlison. If you had Richarlison, well done. But at this stage, he's going to get the minutes. He's got massive confidence. Thomas Frank's enjoying having him. And Benjamin Šeško, like you say, fun pick, has been given a little bit of time to get to grips with life at his new club. And I expect them to now unleash him fully. And that first goal is incoming in game week 2. I fully expect that my poor old team Fulham are going to see Šeško up against them in that game. If he doesn't score there, he 100% scores in his home debut against Burnley the following week.
Yeah, agree with that. Okay, let's... Yeah, I mean, look, guys, with your decisions, I would say in terms of the transfer market in FPL, the best play right now for many is just to roll your transfer. Give these players a chance. But if you want to be active and you want to be proactive, then you've got our take.
Absolutely. Yeah, like and subscribe, and we will see you all soon. Cheers.